Hey folks, it's your favorite Canadian info wrangler here, back at you again through the power of the interwebs. And here we are. As you can see, I'm on the Zorin OS website, and I am currently downloading Zorin OS 18 Core. As you can see here, they've got a paid version, $77.99 for Zorin OS Pro. But the core version is free. The core version just doesn't come with a lot of apps that you can probably download for free anyway. So we're downloading this right now. I have a little tale to tell you. I was originally going to install Debian 13 on the computer today, but it was way too complex. Just the installation process, it had a robotic voice and it kept giving me all these options, and when I was trying to use the default options, it just kept representing those options. So I finally said to hell with it, and I deleted that video that I was recording at the time, and I decided we're going to move on to Zorin OS. Debian's not happening for me. That's just Gary, I don't know how you did it. Because I can't figure it out. I got to the point of editing the partition, and it wouldn't accept my default options of ext4. And I even tried changing the option to root, and it wouldn't accept that either. It just kept presenting those two choices again. So that's when I got out of it and decided that I was going to do Zorin today. So Gary, much respect if you actually installed Debian and got it working. That's definitely not for me. So we're gonna skip ahead until this download is finished. Okay, we're back, and as you can see now, I've finished downloading Zorin OS, and I copied it to the Ventoy drive, and now we're looking at the Ventoy menu on the second PC. So we're going to move down to Zorin OS and hit enter. Boot in normal mode, and hope that it doesn't start throwing at us what Debian did, or Debian, or whatever. So we're going to try or install. And this sometimes takes a while. This isn't the fastest computer that I'm using as my second PC. Cancel the file system checks. Not worried about it because we're going to be wiping the whole drive. Zorin OS 18. Taking a little while, I gotta say. Oh, look at that. Pretty mountains. And you know, something I could have told you while we were waiting for all of this to happen is Zorin OS is actually made in Ireland. I thought that was interesting. Okay, so we're going to go with install Zorin OS. And we're going to go with English, install. We're going to try that again. There we go. Okay, choose your keyboard layout. Yes, that's all correct. Download updates while installing. Install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi and additional media formats. Alrighty. And, well, that doesn't matter for now. Okay, install Zorin OS alongside Linux Mint? No, erase disk and install Zorin OS. Continue. Select drive, the entire disk will be used. Yes, yes, yes. Install now. If you continue, the changes listed below will be written to the disks. Bum ba bum ba bum. Yes, continue. Okay. Well, we're not in Toronto, but not all distros have a listing for Thunder Bay. Let's see. There we go. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Oh my god, that was annoying. And put in my password twice. I don't care if you think it's only a fair password. And I chose login automatically, which means that I won't have to enter my password every time the system restarts. I'll only have to enter my password for administrator privileges, which some apps will require, especially updates and software installations will all require your password. Almost finished copying files. It's impressive these days, you know, it doesn't really take all that long to install a new operating system. Processor speeds, RAM speeds. SSD transfer speeds. It all contributes to a much quicker experience. Dum dee dum 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 dum. Very pretty though, isn't it? Well, we've got some excitement happening here. It's almost done, I think. Oh, now it has to install the system. That was just copying files. So why don't we skip ahead until that's done? Here we are. We're back. Through the magic of cinematography, we're looking at a Zorin OS desktop. So we're going to say no thanks to the tour. And we're just going to take a look around ourselves. What have we got here? We've got Brave pre-installed. That's nice. There's our files. And software. And that's our software repositories. This is where we can download just about anything we need. Like the Office suites that aren't installed with Core. What have we got for Office? Oh, we got LibreOffice. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we use. Graphics. Image Viewer and LibreOffice Draw. Okay, so we don't have GIMP. That's okay, we can always install GIMP. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's go to Settings. Network. Wired is good. Let's see here. Do we have a firewall? Let's check. Ah, there's the search bar. Firewall configuration, that's what we want. Alrighty. And we're going to flip that on. And that's it. We're done. Firewall's on. That's all we needed to do. Bluetooth. No Bluetooth found. That's because this particular computer doesn't have Bluetooth. Display is looking fine. Power options. We don't want the screen to go blank. I don't like that. Automatic suspend is off, that's good. Power button behavior suspend. Power off. Okay. Multitasking. Hot corners are active. I see. Oh, we got some nice backgrounds. What's that one look like? Oh yeah, that's nice. And we got our default apps all listed here. Okay, so that's not so bad. I just need to move this so that I can click the X because my big fat head is in the way. So let's search for GIMP. Let's find GIMP. Where's the search? There's the search. Aha! The GNU Image Manipulation Program. Okay, there's an install button here. Again, my fat head was in the way. So, we're going to install GIMP. Not that I'm any good at using it, but we're going to install it anyway. I can use it a little bit, but I really don't know much about photo editing and stuff like that. I never did get much into that. And it looks like we're running the KDE Plasma desktop, KDE 4. So that's cool. The thing I always like about KDE, and I would say the same about Cinnamon in Mint, is that they're the two that look the most like Windows. And for somebody who's switching over from Windows, that's what you want, right? Alright, so now under Graphics, we should have an entry for the GNU Image Manipulation Program. And we launch it, and it's querying new plugins and doing all that fun stuff that it likes to do on startup. Initializing, and boom, there's the GNU Image Manipulation Program. Alrighty, so we've got that. Now, let's see. Are there any games installed? No, there's no games. Well, we're going to have to fix that. pray. Dum de dum dum dum. No, okay. Not gonna find it quickly that way. But where was the search? What's that there? That's what I wanted. I'll riot. There it is, K-Patience. That's the one I like. Not sure I like these active corners. Mind you, the only reason I'm having any issue with it is because I'll move that back a touch, is because I've got my fat head up in the corner there, and so I'm blocking all the corner buttons. So I have to move the window so that I can get to those buttons. Alright, close that, and now we have a category for games. And in that category we have K-Patience. And in K-Patience we have Klondike. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yes. I could play this all day. I shouldn't, but I could. Okay. We're good. That works. This is a pretty snappy operating system too. It's quite nicely responsive. I think I'm going to install this on my laptop actually. So, yeah, there's my review. I like Zorin OS. Those of you who've seen earlier videos will know, should know, that I have a very old laptop. I think it's 13 years old last time I looked it up. It's a Samsung R580, and it's got a Intel i3, I believe, Core 2 Duo processor, 4 gigs of RAM, and a dedicated NVIDIA 320M graphics card. So in its day, it was a powerhouse gaming rig, but, well, not exactly a powerhouse with only a 320M in it, but just having dedicated video made it pretty good for gaming. It played all my games no problem. But in recent years I've been running Linux Mint on it, but ever since I upgraded to Linux Mint 22, it's become kind of sluggish. So I think I'm going to install Zorin OS on it, because this is looking good. I'm not sure I like having the power button all the way over here, but the rest of it is really nice. We've got, what have we got for utilities? See, we got, yeah, backups. You can create a backup with that. You can probably also, if it's not already installed, you can probably install Time Shift, which is sort of like Mac OS Time Machine, I think they call it, where it takes snapshots of your system, and if anything goes wrong with an update or something like that, you can always roll back to the previous known working snapshot. We have disks, which shows us what our disks are. We've got our 180 gig SATA drive here, which I still haven't upgraded, but I don't think I need to for this computer's purpose. And then we have a CD-DVD drive. Okay, that's disks. Let's see, what else have we got in utilities that might be interesting? You know what else we should install? I'm not sure if the codecs are going to be necessary, but do we have VLC? No, we don't. So then, let's install VLC Media Player. Because sometimes VLC will install extra codecs that your operating system didn't install. Sometimes it will, sometimes you've already got them. So, usually this installation is pretty quick. It's just a small app. 65%, 67%, 68%, 69%, 70%. Ooh, that's kind of going slower than it usually does. Now it's jumping up a bit, a little. Not much, not enough. Yes, we are in the days of expecting instant gratification, aren't we? Okay, that's done. It didn't ask for my password, so chances are it didn't install any new codecs. But now it's listed in sound and video, and if you want to, you can use that for playing videos on your desktop rather than the default media player. We have parental controls here, that's kind of nice. I have no kids though, so I'm not concerned with it. And system monitor. It shows all the processes that are running, that's good. That's handy for somebody like me. I like to see what my system is running, and sometimes I shut down things that are running that I don't think should be running. So we've got Brave web browser installed by default. I like that. I don't care what some people may say about Brave. I likes it. Oh, look at that. And we can go to, where do we want to go to? Yeah, let's go to the Zorin website. See, look at that. Zorin OS, make your computer better. It is very snappy. I like this. Less of that, more speed, yes. I am noticing it. That is nice. Alright. Just get away from my fat head so I can close the window. Okay, so that's really good. Yeah, so I like Zorin OS. It seems really good so far. Let's see. No, not that screen. How about that screen? Well, certainly without that. That's better. And why do I have 3 Dolphin windows open? I don't know. And we can bring Brave back to the main screen. Lock it in there. And shut her down. And that's it, eh? Alrighty. So, I guess that's going to conclude today's video. In closing, I would say that Zorin OS is an excellent choice for anybody who's new to Linux and wanting to switch over from Windows. I think it can be installed with a minimum of know-how, and the average person with half a brain should be able to kind of guess their way through the installation process. If they're not sure about anything, should be fairly easy to guess your way through. And it comes pre-installed with just about everything that anybody needs, that most people would need. Even most people aren't going to need GIMP. Most people probably aren't going to be using GIMP. They're using, especially if they're installing, I guess it depends on their use case scenario, because for me, I'm trying to get away from Windows, and I'm doing it on a fairly new system, fairly good high-end hardware. And sorry, it's just my back is starting to bother me in this chair. So yeah, I'm installing it on fairly new high-end hardware. So if there's somebody out there like me who has decent high-end hardware and just wants to get away from Windows, Microsoft, then this would be an excellent choice for them. They could zip through it in a few minutes and they'd be up and ready to run. I also still think Byte is an excellent choice for anybody wanting to switch because of its ease of use for gaming. Because it's all set up. You don't have to do any of the wine setup or bottles or anything like that. I don't even know what Byte uses. I don't know if they're using bottles or wine or what they're using, but whatever it is, it's all set up out of the box. I didn't have to do anything except launch Steam and install what games I wanted. So I like Byte if we're talking about a gamer, but if it's just an average, somebody who uses it for social media and email and things like that and document reading and such, Zorin is an excellent choice for that. So definitely 2 thumbs up for Zorin OS. And that'll conclude today's Byte Linux review. And God's willing, Daffy Duck willing, we'll see y'all in the next video. Ciao for now.